A Mitsubishi H60, 200 meters high, flies over the mostly silent city of Kagoshima. The spotlight shines onto the ground below. The pilot looks downwards, seeing what is below them.
Holy sh**.
A 50-meter deep crater lies where the Tenmiken Park was, in effect caused by the 3-kiloton explosion caused by Godzilla III's hydrogen ray. Even as night had fallen, the fires in Kagoshima Bay are still ablaze above the water. The crew turn to the right. The miles or kilometers of ash cloud blocks the view beyond the eye can see. And the center of the volcano is still erupting, with no end in sight. On the ground, the rescue teams dig through rubble and debris fields of concrete and body parts. Many of the soldiers shout to get someone to answer them. On a few occasions, they hear voices either loud or faint. On others, it was dead silence. Families and friends are torn, broken, and shook from the ordeal that happened earlier that day. Tears are shed, anger explodes, and trauma sets in. From corner to corner, the people have endured the worst disaster in their lives. And all of them will, most likely, never forget it. Ambulances stop in front of the hospitals, but the two that are near Ground Zero, the Samejima and Izuru Imamura hospitals, are destroyed beyond recognition. The Imekure General Hospital further south was also hit, but by the hydro cutter from the kaiju's tail. After noticing that some of the medical centers didn't get hit, they are prioritized. However, the capacity for some of them are becoming so overwhelming, the other centers outside of the kaiju battle were chosen. A crisis was avoided, but no one can ignore what the result of such kaiju battle was and is. The 3 AMF soldiers, Hayama, Watanabe, and Nakanishi, only lightly bruised and injured, walks down the hallway of the Kagoshima City Hospital, 1.28 miles, 2.07 kilometers, from the epicenter. The 3 veers their heads from left to right in the hall itself, with brief glimpses into the rooms. Many of the patients' skins are burnt and charred, darkened like charcoal. Most of their bodies are twitching uncontrollably. Some pieces of their hairs are missing or burned off completely. The cries are quiet or loud enough for others to hear. The clothes are ripped, burned, and dangling like tassels. As the 3 continue on into another hallway, the sight is horrible. Missing arms, legs, or chunks of their bodies are visible for all to see. The cloths that are wrapped around them have or are turning from white to red. Some of the patients comfort one another, a way to not lose their humanity, but others are already far gone. Doctors attend to them as best they can, with different results. The soldier stops and steps to the sides. Doctors are guiding a few to different areas. The movement of the injured are stiff, as if they were robots. Another group of medical staff passes them. On stretchers are tarped bodies of the dead. A harsh reality sets in to Hayama, Watanabe, and Nakanishi. The result of the Battle of Kagoshima is devastating. Too devastating even for a soldier of high rank or not. A disaster that is far worse than the March 11th earthquake. While the natural disaster itself lasted for hours, the Battle of Kagoshima lasted for only 15 minutes, with the after effects still ongoing. And this is one of those effects. An endless trail of burnt, injured, suffering, and dead humans. Men, women, and children. Hey, the 3 hears an officer. They turn, seeing him approach them. You 3 all right? We're uninjured. Where's Kisaraka? Oh boy. On the 10th floor, the 4 turns the corner. It has less patients than others, and it is full of medical staff of the AMF.
Are you kidding me?
A chair flies out of the room. It shatters against the wall, then collapses onto the floor. The 4 peeks inside. The fist of Kisaraka slams against the table in front of her.
You dumbass! Hold on a second. No, shut up! You gave the order to stop your troops and the sailors on that ship and not open fire. And yet, not only did they ignore you, but they turned the situation worse. Ma'am, we didn't know that Godzilla was going to show up. He caught us by surprise. Well, guess what? So did we. Look at that window. Look out that f***ing window. What do you see?
They hesitantly turned to the window, seeing the destruction before them.
Over 88,000 people are dead, over 150,000 injured, many of our soldiers and sailors are dead, the battle carrier Gensensha is gone, and Sakurajima is still erupting!
She punches the chair behind her. She turns her body around, putting her hand against her face. Those around her are scared to speak, let alone move. Colonel, if I could shut the up. The man shuts up before saying anything else. Who was the one that gave the order? I did, ma'am. You, Hirabayashi, Ono, and Kikuchi, stay here. The rest of you, off. The soldiers, except for the ones that have been named, leaves the room. The last one exits and closes the door. They hear the table being flipped, followed by the loud shouting by the colonel herself. Others around the closed door can hear her deliver a tirade against her own officers. That is intense. Yeah, and strangely, she's carrying the anger that I feel. That's a first. I think we're all feeling that way. Some form over another. Sir, is there anything that we can do? Aside from search and rescue? I don't know. I can't imagine what the main command in Shinjuku is going to do about this. I think I have an idea of what's going to happen. A faint rumble shakes the ground all around. Godzilla lies on his stomach, resting from yesterday's battle. The wounds he sustained are healed, but exhaustion came when he left Kagoshima. In his mind, however, he is still disappointed for what he did. The actions of what he did in the other dimension is a constant reminder. A reminder of what lessons he had to learn in the most hardest way possible. Even when his actions were justified, it does not excuse the outcome of either realms. The sound of birds singing, the breeze brushing onto the tree branches and leaves, the sound of the ocean splashing onto the beaches. They bring a calm atmosphere, soothing him and subduing his rage to a minimum, something that he welcomes. But then, the air starts booming. His eyes opens, recognizing the sounds as it is not welcome. Electric bolts conjures from his dorsal fins, then expands, forming his hydro shield on his left side. Explosions erupts, but not onto the shield. They erupt all around him without touching him or the shield itself. Some of the lifted dirt and trees falls into his body. His eyes closes to protect them from shrapnel hitting him. As he reopens them, he counted up to 12 explosions. His head lifts and his eyes gazes out into the Pacific. He spots something, confirming his suspicion. 15 miles, 24.14 kilometers away, two battle carriers, the USS Missouri and the Hoshi Shirogane, are staying in place. Their main forward 16-inch and 20-inch naval cannons are aiming on their starboard side. White steam lets out of the barrels, signifying that the chambers have opened. Godzilla puffs purple smoke from his nostrils. The shield fades away. The left row of fins glows. 12 lasers shoots from the tips. They rise, then curve, aiming for the massive capital ships. The lasers makes contact in the water surrounding the ships themselves. Plumes of water explodes upwards, some landing on the fore bows and aft. The lasers ceases. King Raygon III lifts his entire body upwards. He stands to his feet, but his eyes do not look away from the two ships. Within the Hoshi Shirogane, the crew watches on. Godzilla is about to move, sir. Should we stop him? Don't. Have the destroyers follow him, but don't engage. On board the Missouri, the same mindset is within the American crew. Tell all crews to return to their duties. Aye, aye, sir. Let's head back to base, and inform our destroyers to resume their patrol. A conflict between both sides is avoided, but with the warning shots from said sides, it is clear of where each stands on. Ironically, with the same mentality as well. Gotemba, Japan, 10 a.m. A Mitsubishi Lancer turns, then stops into a parking lot. It is put into parking, then the engine turns off. Within it, Moribe and Hirasaka in AMF suit uniforms looks at each other. Here we are. Where's here? Where the shrine is located, though we can't drive to it. They dart to the forest that stands before them before staring back at each other. A lot of Gotemba has been cleaned up as of late. Besides that, it feels like a ghost town almost. Like Fukuoka? Okay, not as bad as that, but still. Do you think it's still standing? There's only one way to find out. He reaches to the glove compartment. He opens it, takes out a pair of masks, and hands one to his colleague. She takes it, and the two puts on the masks. The doors opens, and the two exits the vehicle. Their feet touches the ground. Little bits of volcanic dust picks up. Closing the doors, Moribe and Hirasaka look around them. Most of the city behind them is clean, and part of its population has returned to their original homes. A pair of construction workers sees the two soldiers and approaches. Hello there. Are you part of the JSDF? No, sir. The AMF. Really? First Sergeant Hirasaka and Sergeant Moribe. We're here to find an old shrine. An old shrine? I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it at this rate. What shrine are you looking for? It's inside of an old house. Do you know where it is? Oh, that old place. Jeez, hardly anyone visits that nowadays. But I guess the priestess expected it. Who's the priestess? You don't want to know. So, where can we find the shrine? Hata reaches into his back pocket and takes out his iPhone. He opens it and clicks on the map app. He zooms in on their location and shows it to the soldiers. Alright, we're right here. Just head down that path next to that old house right there. And once you reach 188 meters, turn to the north and you should be able to see it. How big is it? It's one story that looks very feudal. Alright, got it. Thank you. The soldier bows, then walks ahead onto the path. They pass by the house, seeing an old woman enjoying her time on the porch. She waves at them as the two enters the path in the forest. Passing by the trees, they notice that ash cloud dust is mostly not visible on the ground, but they do see some dust falling from the leaves of said trees. I hope it's worth coming over here. Trust me, it'll solve everything. Okay, I gotta ask, how old is this building? The shrine was built 200 years ago, but the house itself is 300. What? There is no way a house from the feudal era would stand after all of these centuries. It's fucking ridiculous. Did you forget about the Huryuji temple? I stand corrected. And besides, you joke, but wait until you see it. We should be coming up to the end of the path now. I am still baffled that you said that with a straight face. They stop. As expected, the path ends. They turn their heads to the north. Ah, there it is. Let's go. Moments later, they finally approach the old house. Right away, Ayana notices something odd about it. Moribe, you said this house was 300 years old, right? Yeah, what about it? This thing looks brand new. Looks can be deceiving. Uh-huh, so where's the shrine entrance? Moribe does not answer her, but points to his right. She guides her eyes and then spots the distinct torii gate in full view at the very front. Oh. Okay, let's go inside. The two walks around the side to the front. They spot a few signs pointing what was here and when it was taken out. Turning to the front entrance, they are greeted by a statue of a samurai in black armor, but the face is painted green with a very angry grimace. Sheesh. They step forward to the doors. Moribe opens them and the two enters. They take a look at their surroundings. Very old furniture has been left untouched even after centuries. Dust is not located on any of them, as if the person in charge of the place has been keeping them clean the entire time. The two removes their masks. You weren't kidding. The interior hasn't changed all that much. What'd I tell you? Anyway, there's gotta be a library around here. Tatsunari walks ahead with his friend following behind him. Hey, so about what happened in Kagoshima? I know. It's horrible. I can't imagine being in that scenario. Do you think they'll make it? They're tough, but Against Godzilla? I don't know. They pass by an open door on their right. They stop as their eyes darts inside. 4 cones circles around a single spot with police tape wrapped around them. Who died here? I don't know. Their eyes veers up, seeing a carved-out hole in the wall. Near it is a sign. Here lies a corpse consumed by the demon of kaiju. Demon of kaiju? What's that? It is a legend that comes from a reliable source. They hear the voice coming from behind them. They quickly turn around, spawning a library. But standing in front of said library is Shinobu Nakamura. Oh, you're the priestess of this place? She nods her head. Miss, can we... Ayana stops Tatsunari in his tracks. She points to her cheeks, pointing out the scars on Shinobu's. Oh, you mind telling us who you are? You already know, don't you? Touché. Baradagi, you're the priestess? Yes. How may I help you? Although, I'm not supposed to have my checkup until next week. Don't worry, it's not that. We came to find something that relates to our issue. Elaborate, please. 2 years ago, we found a creature near Mount Fuji. We've been doing a lot of research when recently we discovered that it feeds by sticking a knife from its tentacle and... You have it? They notice her change in tone and demeanor. She turns around and walks into the library. With little choice, the soldiers follows her. They see her picking out books from the shelf. Do you have any idea of what you possess? That creature cannot roam about. Hang on, slow down. What are we dealing with? A potential disaster on your hands. Now, the two are a bit concerned. How big are we talking? Unimaginable. And if you were wise, you'd kill it. Easier said than done. Our scientists are so fixated on that damn thing, and we don't know what it's called. Shinobu picks out a book and hands it to Ayana. This one. The two looks to the cover and the title. The cover itself is faded white with a painted image of the creature in question. Ryu Seicho, the demon of kaiju. Oh, yeah, this is it. This is the one I've been talking about. Hirasaka looks to him. And you couldn't find this in a normal library? There's no other copy available. What? Why is that? They think that the legend is too out there, thus refusing to publish it. Plus, older copies were burned during the Tokyo bombing raid of 1945. This book is all that remains. Well, we came this far. Let's take a look at it. 10:10 a.m. Moribe and Hirasaka sit down near a table with the book placed on it. Nakamura stands behind them, looking over. The first page is turned, and right away they see the first paragraph. 1194. A missionary en route to Kyoto to inform the emperor on a rebellion within the mountains encountered a beast within the forest. He described it as a massive kaiju taller than the trees themselves. Its arms extended beyond the eye can see, and it was described like a rainbow, changing color depending on its mood. The man's focus was not on the beast, but the corpses. He mentioned how they have been sucked out from the inside, turning shriveled and gray. He spotted holes inside of them, but was not caused by a blade. Frightened, the missionary fled the scene, escaping with his life. When he arrived in Kyoto, he gave his warning to the emperor, but his cries were deemed unthinkable and was judged as insane. 1592. The government was informed of a giant creature that absorbs the life force from a human body, like Medusa turning her victims into stone. Toyotomi Hideyoshi sent his samurai to destroy the beast. Days passes by, and finally he was told in September that most of his warriors were killed the moment they began their battle. All except for one, the first Esper of Japan, Daimajin. 1701. Shogun Tsunayoshi Tokugawa hears and reads of stories of a similar creature in Atlantis where its power was identical to the European black dragon, Aldun, but also hearing of absorption of human essence from within. The name that was known throughout Atlantis has now entered the Japanese minds as a being that embodies a hellspawn, Ryu Seicho, the demon of kaiju. The page turns. A painting is showcased depicting a battle near Mount Fuji between the Ryu Seijo and the samurai in black, Daimajin. But behind him is an unlikely ally. Wait, is that Godzilla the First? 1708. The Tokugawa shogun pleaded to Lord Daimajin to remove the beast from the lands. The warrior followed the traces of death left behind by the beast, reaching the house within the forest 9.66 kilometers from Fuji. It's this one. As the battle ensues, Gojira, of which he himself had history with the demon, aided the lone samurai. Their strength overwhelmed the Ryu Seijo, banishing it within the pits of Hoi, never to be seen again. She closes the book and begins to think. The recent eruption of Fuji caused by Godzilla III is still fresh in her mind. Damn it! She stands from her seat. She turns to Nakamura. Do you mind if I take this? What do you plan on doing? What we should have done 2 years ago. I'm heading back to Outpost 10 and tell those idiots what we found. I would like to come with you. I don't think that's a good idea, considering your reputation. I don't care. I want to see that beast dead. Ayana nods her head, agreeing with her. Then we'll go right away. Let's go. 11:34 a.m. And now for our top story. The country is still reeling after the incident in Kagoshima yesterday. 3 colossi were supported to the ground forces, but Godzilla went undetected, arrived, and killed all 3, but left unspeakable amount of damages behind. Our reporter Kenichiro Terasawa was there, and this is his report. The camera feed cuts to the battle that unfolded. As you can see, Godzilla was handling his business against Ebra, Baragon, and Titanosaurus. The AMF decided to get involved, and what followed was something unbelievable. Our feed was cut off, but when it came back, all you saw was what was left. Baragon escaped, but Titanosaurus, the Gensenja, and Sakurajima were killed, destroyed, and split in half. The camera cuts to present time. This is the scene right now. The majority of the city is gone, the AMF is still fighting survivors and bodies, and the volcano behind us is still erupting as we speak. I haven't seen this kind of destruction since 1992. I myself have mixed feelings about this, but let's see what these people think of this. The camera cuts to multiple individuals throughout the country. Honestly, I don't know why he's allowed to roam freely. I think the AMF should kill him, like now. I mean, from what I saw, it wasn't entirely his fault. The AMF screwed up, but that doesn't excuse what he did afterwards. But even if he's killed, how will we defend ourselves from other kaiju? Personally, I think he should be dealt with right now. I was actually in Fuji City when Godzilla returned, and we're still recovering from the damages that he caused then. He's part of the Guardians of Earth, isn't he? I'm not opposed of trying something against him, but I'm not sure if it'll work at all. Walking on the sidewalk, Emiko Honda sees the live news and the many individuals being interviewed. First my brother, then Koopa, and now this. What a mess. Her phone vibrates. She takes it out and unlocks it. It is a text message from her girlfriend Nakamura. I'm going to be busy today, so I'm going to be late home. Also, Sensei wants to speak to us Friday. Are you available? She responds back. My schedule is full this weekend. Tell her I can't. She locks the phone and puts it back into her pocket. Her thoughts returns to Godzilla. I'm kind of indifferent to all of this. No one is in the right, but no one is in the wrong. Her eyes catches a trickle of sparks within a pathway. Her curiosity peaks. She comes to the corner and peeks her head. She sees more sparks becoming more greater than before. What's going on there? She walks into the pathway, unknowing what it could lead her to. Her aura dimly emits from her body, getting ready for anything. She hugs against the wall and moves in closer. Reaching the corner, she peeks her head. Her eyes widens. She sees the specter girl that she saw months ago, glowing soft gray, sitting on her knees and praying to a shrine. It's her. What is she doing in front of a shrine? The girl finishes praying. Emiko walks out from the corner and slowly approaches her. She stops near her and gets down to her knees. The girl turns her head, seeing the mistress of time sitting right next to her. Hello? The girl continues to stare at her, not saying a word yet. Is this shrine important to you? It's for me. Oh. The aura around Emiko disappears. I'm very sorry. Do you have a name? Iris. Iris? That's a beautiful name. Do you have a family? I'm not allowed to see them again. Emiko lightly gasps. I was taken against my will and forced to live in hiding. Says who? A being of horror. Tears flows from Iris and her body turns to blue. Every day, it tortures me. And I can't make it stop. This is very similar to what Emiko is dealing with right now. She herself can't see her brother, and the only time that she did was back in 2006. Knowing her sympathy, she gently pats on Iris's head. Iris turns, seeing a smile on the woman's face. There. I've been through the same pain as you. So I'll tell you what, I'll keep you company from now on, okay? Iris's face lights up. Her spiritual body turns from calm blue to brighten yellow. You will? Honda nods her head with confidence. Iris smiles and her body glows solid gold. Thank you. The girl hugs her and Honda embraces her. Emiko herself sees a clock on the wall. It has struck 11:40 a.m. She stands to her feet. Oh, crap. Listen, I gotta go, but I'll come back for you, okay? I'll wait for you. Thank you, Miss Honda. Honda waves, then disappears within the realm of frozen time. Reappearing 10 miles away, 16 kilometers away, she continues to walk on the sidewalk to work. But then, she realizes something. Wait, how does she know my name?